So crack a beer, join the crew, let the colors flow. Big D's brushes live. Yeah, welcome to the show. Got dwarves with their axes, knights on their steeds, orc war bands ready for their wicked deeds. I'll show you all the tricks, the blends and the glaze, little pain and secrets from my hobby days. No pressure here, just hang and chat, share stories of battles and pain mishaps. We laugh, we learn, mix colors on the fly, watching warbands grow beneath the brush as time goes by. Every stroke and every color tells a tale, from victory's glory to the warrior's trail, with the thread of chaos on the rise. The heroes tell no lies, with their blades in hand. It's time to purge this evil from the land. So crack a beer, join the crew, let the colors flow. Big D's brush is live. Yeah, welcome to the show. Let's paint!
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. There we go. Oh, the joys of OBS. Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries, Joe. Thank you very much, mate. AFK, much appreciated. It's all right. You've already missed the. Oh, what a disaster. Okay, 1 second. We'll sort it out. Right. Sod off. You're down there. And. Hello, 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 hello. How's that? No? Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. that better? Ah, I'm trying not to peek too much, but it's OBS. It was OBS. Maybe broski, I'm not too sure. I think it had an update, bro, and all the I obviously had to update whatever. I think the Windows had an update or whatever. So what a disaster that was. Wasn't really much of a first impression. Okay, 1 second, bro. Yeah. I should be on HyperX Quadcast. This should be correct now. Got no idea what it was coming through before. So that should be fine. It's just the what do you call it? Is it the one at the back of the microphone or on top, broski? Oh, okay, yeah, 1 second. How's that? Is that any better? Hello, hello, hello? Test, test, 1, 2, test. Okay. We'll have to just roll with this for now then. What a disaster. As Mark from Pete Show. How's that now? Is that any better? Well, so I got the old, what do you call it? Well, I've got my my YouTube is on its normal volume for what do you call it? What an absolute disaster! Oh well, we'll roll with it. We'll roll with it, and then obviously I'll sort it out later on properly. But I say I've got HyperX. It's on. And I've turned the mic up a little bit more than it normally is on the actual audio mixer there. Sorry about that, guys. Anyone who's watching, obviously on Twitch or YouTube, obviously this is a complete disaster. Every other stream up to now has always been. I've actually been pretty good with the whole what you call it, my settings and stuff. But I say there was an update and all that kind of stuff. I had to restart the. Cheers. Was it? Is that Matt? Matt 94. Yes, but cheers. Yeah, so Matt, thank you, mate. Like I said, the earlier streams, mate, we had all this sorted out. We had it all top notch. But never mind. It is what it is. So how is everyone? So I'll start again. 1 second. Let's do this properly. Let's do it properly. Right, here we go. 1 second. There we go. Right, welcome to BigDsBrush. I'm Big D. And we're here to talk about models. We're going to paint some models. We're going to look at some new models, some new presents that I got. I got these yesterday. Never just didn't get round to doing anything with them just yet. And yeah, just have a nice little, as it's called, After Dark with Big D here. And yeah, we'll just go from there. And yeah, great. So first things first, as we do on BigDsBrush, we're going to pour ourselves a nice cheeky, a nice beer here. We've got this Hobgoblin here. I've already, earlier on, I've been indulging in a couple of cans of rain beer. We're going for the perfect pour. Perfect pour. Look at that. Beautiful. Fantastic. Exact. How is everyone in chat? Green Eye, Mr. BitDot, who just came off of a really, really good stream for a really good Sunday stream. Oh, that's delicious. Smashing those OSRS challenges. And yeah, and Matt, of course, welcome. Just as the intro song says, my friend, grab a seat, grab a drink, and chill out. This is what this is all about. Just how is everyone? Let's just have a quick minute or two just to let people, what should we call it? Let me just pull that down just a smidge. There we go. We will sort these out going forward. I'll get this ready for. I'll probably do a stream tomorrow, so hopefully we'll have all the kinks worked out. Right. So, what have I been up to the last few days, models wise? Well, a few little bits and pieces. So. The last few streams, obviously, I've been working on. Oh, Matt, my broski knows that he knows I'm his biggest fan, so I always enjoy his streams, regardless of content or lack of content. No, I'm joking. Where there's a will, there's a way. Let's put it that way. I think that's pretty. If we can, I think if we can learn anything from BitDot streams, it's that what's that line from Jurassic Park? Was it Life Finds a Way? That's all I can really say about my broski's streams. There, life just finds a way. All right, so. So Matt, so what models do you do then? And you tried Hobgoblin? Was it for you? Oh, I love it. I really like it. It's a beautiful IPA. But yeah, I mean IPA. Again, different. What you call it? Like horses for courses, all that kind of stuff. There's some IPAs and stuff I had where I've liked some better than others. I tried a couple on Saturday, some different ones. I tried one called Dark Angel that was quite nice. It was one called My Father, and I can't remember. There was a golden amber one. I can't remember the actual name of it now, but that was actually quite good. But yeah, so I'm always on the try for different IPAs. I think I'll always give at least try it once. You know what I mean? If I don't like it, then I'll not drink it again. But at least I've tried it. That's delicious. Right, so Matt, in answer to your question, so my main focus is this one here, my friend. Warhammer: The Old World. Okay, I'm a big fantasy guy. When I was a young boy growing up, Warhammer Fantasy, that's where it was for me. Obviously, dabbled in a little bit of 40k as well, and then sort of when I was in my late 20s or whatever. And I sort of streamed and did videos before. I mostly did Malifaux. I did some War Machine then as well. I just dabbled really at models that take my fancy. Anything that I feel like I get a good paint job out of basically. But as of late, when Games Workshop announced relaunched Warhammer: The Old World in this guise. I was on board from the off, so I've been collecting all of the arcane journals, which are essentially like the rules for all the units and things like that, in different different updates and stuff like that, different campaigns, essentially like DLC really, but in book form, and models and stuff as well. I've also been working on a side project, which I have, this is basically a a project that I'm working on throughout, well, for the first half of the year anyway, till about, well, August. So I've got myself a notepad here, and in here I've been doing colour swatches and doodles and just bits like that. But yeah, I've did a little bit of work on a bit of it the other day, which was quite nice. I've ordered some wet and dry paper that I need to basically give it a nice smooth finish, and that's for the what the diorama will be built on, basically. So that's really cool. So I was really positive and very pleased with how that's gonna turn out. I've also obviously working on my my cafe army, so I've been doing all the horses at the minute. So I've been doing the main armor on the horses. I've got like basically the majority of them. All the armor in terms of the metallic sections of it are done, because it's easy just to basically go over the whole model with a sizable brush, get all the metallic areas base coated and highlighted nice and simply, and then from that we then move on to, just 1 second, we start to do this. So I start to pick out all the green areas. I'm going for this sort of dark gold, sort of worn bronze colour for the armour, and then this jade green type colour for the accents, basically. So in this case here, I'm just picking out little details, what I want to be green, for basically like the inset pieces of armour there. Yeah, so really, this is basically like a, I need a good style, quick style to get, obviously, like, all these models done. So I've gone for big areas of metallic, and then just, I just then go over any areas that I want to be green, basically. I'm not sure how well you can see, but I started to get the highlights done on the green itself. I think that could probably maybe do a little bit of adjusting. 1 second. I'm just going to switch to my filming view. Oh, the camera and the mic still works. That's fine. The other day I did this, the mic didn't work, so that was very strange. So I was going to just do adjust the camera there, because that's obviously gone. There we go. That's better. That's got a bit do-wally as well because of the OBS settings there. So that's much better. So yeah, so there we go. So I'm just picking out the different areas and getting it basically. I want to try and get it to like basically this kind of point here. I've got another little highlight still in this, but I'm doing a kind of like an iridescent style look to the armor there, so it has a bit more of a. I've sort of stippled the highlight colours on the armor. I've like thinned the paint down very thin, and then just got a little bit on my brush. I just sort of stipple it on, and then when the water evaporates, it just leaves pigment. It leaves like little bits of pigment. So yeah, I'm going for this kind of, because it's a jade, like a jade colour. So I kind of almost want it to almost look like it is kind of like made of jade. So yeah, that's kind of cool. So, and then because there's 5 of these in a row, I don't want them all to be identical either. So, for instance, this is for like, I've sort of picked this kind of scheme for the standard normal riders. And then I started sort of picking out different details for the command group of the unit. So you get a standard bearer, a musician, and a champion. So for instance, this will be the champion's So yeah, so what I'm going to do, sorry, 1 second. Yeah, so as you can see here, I mean, I've done them all sort of slightly different. This one's yet to be highlighted. The green's as the base coat, but I've done them all slightly different. So that's the champion's horse with more gold metallic armor, and then the scale mail will be green. So it's kind of basically inverted. So it's this but inverted basically. And then with this one, like I say, for instance, I picked out every other piece of this this detail at the bottom, and then this main plate here, this armor plate, will be in this green color. So by the time this is highlighted, it will look like this color. And then I'll just do variations, which is quite cool. So yeah, so that way you have 5 models in the unit, but they'll all look slightly different, but still be the same because they use the same colours. And I've just got the only thing I have to do after that is, once all this is done, is obviously paint the horses themselves, but then also pick out a colour for things like the saddle and these strapping, the straps here. So yeah, so it's really cool. And the great thing, of course, is when it comes to the also, what's great is when it comes to the horses themselves, you know, obviously I'll look at real reference photographs of horses, and I'll be able to like basically paint, you know, several different types of horse. And then I've got, so you have duplicate, so within the models, okay, so I've got 2 units of 5. So, and each unit has a duplicate model, because they do 2, they give you 2 of each model, okay? So there'll be 2 of this type of horse, 2 of this type of horse, okay? So then all I do, say for instance, on the this horse in the other unit, I'll paint it like this way, or I'll paint it in that style, but then I'll also change the actual colour of the horse as well. So in this case, I'll maybe do this horse as like a dark brown horse, but then this same model in the other unit I could do as a black horse, white horse, you know, or grey kind of colour, you know, all sorts of variations. So so it's really, really good, really, really interesting. But when what you can do, even with, you know, essentially repetitive models in the unit, by painting them differently, you can make them look different. And that's like an old school technique, because a lot of the models, say for this one, like this one here, this is obviously a very old school model. Okay, and a lot of the models in the early days were one pose. So you had a whole unit that would be basically, that would comprise of this same model repeated over. So if you had a unit of 10, a unit of 15, it'd be these same guys. So what you would do is, as you can see here, I've gone for the quartered black and red. Or you could have your other guy, so you got, say, 5 of these in a row. So one guy could be quartered black and red. One guy could be half black and red. One guy, and that could be half down the center, or across the body there. So lower half could be red, top half could be black, whatever. Or you could paint one model in the unit completely black, but then pick out, say, the gloves or the boots in red, and then vice versa, have a whole red armoured model, but then pick out his boots and gloves in the opposite colour. And then you have a third colour, which is your tertiary colour, which will help tie it all together. So in this case, it'll be gold. So gold will be the other unifying colour. So you could paint the... on this guy here, for instance, that I could paint the trim gold. I could paint the whole helmet gold.
I could paint the armor gold. So, you can do different things. So this was like a very old school technique to allow you to have variation within a unit of identical models. And so I like to carry that mindset and technique into, more modern sculpts. And I think they just look really good in the unit. So, yeah, so that's really kind of cool. So let's just check in with chat for a minute there and Twitch. Broski, so for quality of the stuff though, the knowledge, different painting style. Yeah, so basically that's Super Joe, when you give me that's awesome. So thank you very much, guys. I do appreciate that. So yeah, that's really kind of cool. And the model itself isn't relevant, but I've just been I was also practicing painting Space Wolf armor on this guy here. This is just Deep Shadows base coat and then the first highlight. I'm still yet to apply more highlights to the model, but what I found is if I used this dark red here, it's a blue. It's a very dark red with a lot of blue in it. Okay, it's a wonderful color. It's this color here, and this is if I was to, pick, like say a handful of paints that I would recommend to any painter, miniature painter to have in their arsenal of paints. It's this one here. This is Vallejo model color. This is the older style label, but it doesn't really matter that much. It's the paints and the paints. Although the hues, I have noticed the hues have changed slightly, but not by much. But so this is Hull Red. And no, it's not. If you live in the UK, it's not named after the city Hull. It's this is basically it's to do with boats and ships. The what do you call it? The primer they would obviously put over the metal or whatever would be this kind of like reddish color, like a red primer, basically, like a red oxide primer. So that's basically what it means. But it has blue in there. Yeah, I mean this is very this range has never this range is still continued, so it's easy to get hold of. And other ranges will have a similar color to this, but I tend to find that with some other paint lines, the hues will be slightly different, or the pigmentation in some of the paints will be different as well. I mean, a lot of miniature painters will actually have, well, like I do. I've got like paints galore, so I've got, I have Formula P3. I've got the older style Vallejo model color because I brought a load of these ages ago. I've got Duncan Rhodes two-thin coats. I've got the new style Vallejo. These are the game colors, and I will get onto it. I'll talk about it in a second about the change in hues. But I also have Scale 75, and this is their skin tone. Their skin tones are really good. Some really nice hues. So you'll find that certain ranges will have certain hues of, say, blues, browns, greens, or whatever that you'll prefer in another range. And so a lot of miniature painters will have various different manufacturers for their paints based on what they, what sort of colour and depth they want out of it. These Vallejo model colours, these tend to be used more so for a lot of military style painting, that kind of thing. The colours tend to be a lot more natural, less vivid, and also the finish is different as well. These actually have a very matte, a flat matte finish, whereas this is by the same company, Vallejo. Their for instance, their game colour. Okay, these were basically designed to match Games Workshop's line of paints back in the day. These have a satin finish. They're much more vivid. Okay, they're much more. So they're basically they're basically fantasy, more fantasy style. These sort of style tend to be more grounded, a bit more realistic, more toned down type colours. Usually, more so. But this is a great colour because it has blue in it. Okay, because it has blue in it. So I primed this model black. That's what to test out my what I'd come up with in here in terms of the colours I wanted to use. I wanted to test the paints out on an actual model because it's one thing to put down. It's one thing to put down blobs of paint on a piece of paper, and then obviously blend in your paints to make your gradients. But when you transpose those ideas to an actual 3D object, things can change. Solid Snake. Oh, broski, bless you. Solid Snake. But yeah, so that's essentially the what should we call it? That's the so this whole red. I primed the model black, and then over the armor plates, I went over with a very thin wash of hull red, and then let that dry. Then gave it another wash. I didn't want it to be. I didn't want it to completely cover everything. I wanted it to more so go into the recesses for like deeper shades. So as you see here, on this leg here, you'll see as I turn the model, underneath has like really natural looking shadows. Because it's a red that has some blue in it, so it kind of like, it works really well. So yeah, but there's still some more highlights and stuff I'm going to play around with on this guy. And again, this is just a test model. So yeah, so it's the idea of transposing your sketches, your ideas into an actual 3D model without having to like use the actual model that you are going to paint. So find cheap. I always recommend to people to find cheap donor models. Okay, so if you could go on eBay or whatever and just buy like a mixed a job lot, like a bag or a loose bag or a box or whatever of just like models. You'll get them fairly cheap. Like these guys, you'll get fairly cheap because these have been around for like years now. I think these came like out in like 2013 or something like that, or whatever. Maybe even earlier than that. Sorry, to be fair. But these were the original Stormcast Eternals, and all these were basically two-piece. I think they're like just two-piece models. Basically, I think it was just the shield and then the body with the arm and then the shield or whatever. I think it was or it might be what do you call it? Like a model that was two halves and you just glue them together. These are cheap as chips. So anything that you want, any like model that you want to practice armor, I recommend getting these. Just lots of surface area, and they're a slightly larger scale as well. So you got more area to practice your blending as well, blending of colors, highlighting, shadows, that kind of thing. So yeah, really cool. Tell you what, I'm fucking warm tonight. Absolutely warm. I might have to open this back door in a second, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll open the window. Right, so let's get down to brass tacks. Oh, also, I wanted to talk about. So I just want to talk a little bit about the Vallejo game colours that I've noticed with the there's some changes in the hues, ever so slightly. So where's that whole the whole red isn't really important. The beer. It's not the beer. It's just warm. So this is the these are the 3 paints that I've used for. Well, sorry, I've picked to use for the project, the model. But what was I say? I had these laying around, but I was like, oh, I need to. I think just in case I run out or whatever, which I don't think I will do, but it was just in case. I best go get some more, just so I've got more on standby if I need it or whatever. So I went and got. So this color here, this is called Steel Grey. Okay, this is Steel Grey, and real nice color, really nice color. Like it's a bluish grey. So I went and got the new equivalent of that. So this is Steel Grey. This is game color. So again, Steel Grey game color, and this is just the re-release. You can see, even just by me doing this, you can see that the color is completely different. The hue is completely different. And just to prove that even more, I'll grab my palette. Tell you what, I do like these new this new Red Grass Games palette. It really does seal tight on you. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so if I just give these a quick what do you call it? So I just put a little a blob there of this. That's the previous recipe, Steel Grey, and then the newer revised. The paints. To be fair, I think in terms of Vallejo, if you're on about the paints, broski, I would say that Vallejo are probably some of the best paints on the market in terms of quality, price, and availability as well. Like I said before, going into a retail shop, obviously where we are, even they carry Vallejo, the Vallejo paints, and it isn't in that place. Isn't even really a it's not a war game place or a miniatures place. It's just kind of like a home retail place, but they have a little section for miniatures, models, files, knives, that kind of thing. Yeah, so if you look here, so there's the Steel Grey there. Now watch when I put this Steel Grey down. You can see straight away in the camera, very different, very. This is a lot more grey. This has got more blue. This is more grey. Okay, so it's not necessarily a bad thing in itself. It's just something to keep in mind that if you are painting a group of miniatures, and you're using some of the older Vallejo paints, yeah, it's just something to keep in mind, because if you paint one lot of models with this say color, and then you've got another unit and you paint them in this one, it might look slightly off. But as I'm only painting one main model with this older style steel grey, it's not going to matter too much anyway. And the same with these as well. This is a wonderful colour. This is verdigris. Okay, and then here's the again the newer version, and again slightly different hue. This one's more paler. This one's a bit more like a mint, almost like a sort of mint green. So there's the, and then I put the brand new one next to it. You'll see there's it's a slight difference between, compared to these two. The difference between these two is minor, but it's still there. This one is much more, slightly more vivid, and I'd say maybe a bit more green in it. But I'd say much more minty colour. This one's like more of a, has a lot more white in it. But this is a wonderful colour for highlighting blues, purples, greens. A very good colour. That's why I wanted to use that as my highlight colour on with this steel grey. Sorry. So yeah, so that's just again. There's just a little weird little thing that I stumbled across. But sometimes you'll find even within the same line of paints, there can be variations, and again, it's all down to pigments, basically. Like I just realised as well that I didn't go back to my main. There we go. I was on the wrong. Oh, cheers, broski. You saved my bacon there, bro, with the old what do you call it? Oh, bro, I appreciate that. I appreciate that wholeheartedly. Thank you. I was what do you call it? I don't know what it's gonna happen though, broski. It's gonna happen. Yeah, so there we go. So that was that little ramble out the bloody way. So what we're gonna do? Oh, I want to show you my new toys. So let's close the lid on that for a second. I'm just gonna pop this window open as well. Hopefully, I've got enough cable to get to the window. If not. That's okay, I figured out why I was hot now. The central heating was on. No wonder I was getting warm. Oh, God. Right, so, goodies. Goodies. So, on Saturday, was actually the release date for the new the additional units and stuff for Cathay. So I finally have those now, even though I've still not got the first lot of models done yet. But hey ho. So yeah, so here's the. So I'll show you the book first. We'll do a little. What do we call it? So this is the new. So this is the new Arcane Journal. Okay. And this is the breaching of the Great Bastion. So they're moving forward with the story now, and this is essentially the chaos invasion of Cathay. Okay, so this is really cool. So on the back here, you now have a look at a full-sized Cathay army now, including their new units. So here you've got the Jade Lancers. That's what I'm working on at the minute. Oh, so there's the Jade Lancers there. There's the brand new Peasant Levy. There's the Astro... I want to say it's like Astronancer or something like that, I think it's called. That's really kind of cool. So basically our Sorcerer, Peasant Levy, Jade Warriors that I've got assembled there over there. More Jade Warriors here. And then your Artillery and all these really cool units. So looking really cool. And then you can just see here some of the new Chaos Marauders in the corner there. Not sure there's any... Yeah, I was right. Astromancer. So that's really cool. So you get one on foot, one on horseback. You get his little familiar there. I'm still yet to get one of these. I still want to get one of these. I still haven't got one yet. So I do want to actually do some battle reports. I do want to play. I do want to do battle reports. But for me, painting is the primary enjoyment of the hobby. But like I said, I would love to play with the painted models once they're done, if that makes sense. So that'd be quite a cool thing to do, and I think that's in a way quite fulfilling as well. If you have a fully painted army and actually get to you know, put them on the battlefield and face off against you know. These are cool as well. I need some of these guys. These Sentinel models. Statues come to life. They're just so cool. Like Cathay as a army is just so good. And this is like, you know, the first, like, you know, new army in for Warhammer Fantasy in a very long time. Very long time. Yeah, and these what you call it? These the new Chaos Marauders are just fantastic. Very cool. Yeah, there's all this cool stuff here, like the you got like the breaching of the bastion, so it shows you like the path in which Chaos took to obviously like start their invasion. So again, they really do cool stuff where they actually, you know, go into full detail. You know, obviously taking out you know, supply lines and you know, weaker spots to then obviously take control. Some more cool color schemes here for your models. So if you're stuck on you know, ideas or whatever for your models, that's quite cool, because that's almost kind of... I only got this book the other day and I'd already started you know, painting my guys. Well, looky here. Look how similar that armor scheme there is to the one I've done. You see, so it's quite cool. It works. It works really well. So what we got here? You got so you got Nangao, which is all here. So you got Nangao. Oh, that's the thingy. Sorry, I'm trying to... So there's one there. It says Nangao, Po Mei, Nan Li, and Shangyang. So these are really cool color schemes for if you want to do. So these are the defend. Yeah, okay, yeah. So these are defenders of the Great Bastion. So these are actual factions within Cathay that actually took part in this the Great Defense. Okay, so if you want to do an actual lore-based army to do this campaign, then you can basically use these as you know, your inspiration. You know, there you go. There's your guide. Go at it. That's really cool. I like that a lot. What else we got? Talks about the elemental winds. So this is obviously all to do with their what their magic is based on. Okay. So you've got elements of yang and the elements of yin. So for instance, so magic of the East, it says here, practitioners of Feng Shui sorcery, called high magic by the elves of Ulthuan, divide the elemental winds into two distinct groups, yin and yang. The elements of yang are water, light, fire, and stone, whilst the elements of yin are wood, iron, death, and shadow. So that's really cool. Celestial dragons has mastered the elements of yang, whereas the moon dragon has unprecedented skill with the elements of yin. Shungangan sorcerers will specialize in either the winds of yang or yin while studying the art of magic, but they can comfortably draw upon whatever winds are required for the task ahead. So they'll study both. And obviously, you know, whatever the situation calls for, they can draw upon those energies. So, elements of yang. The storm wind. Flowing from the north, the elemental wind of water brings with it the power of life and healing. But only a fool would believe the storm wind cannot allow a wizard to unleash devastating power when the need arises. So that's really cool. So I love it. Again, they go into detail. So the bright wind, the elemental wind of light, flows into Grand Cathay from the southwest, banishing the darkness and keeping the terrors at bay. Those who wield the elemental wind of light are often fiercely disciplined wizards who staunchly oppose the forces of the ruinous powers and the use of their magic to bring ruin to those who worship chaos in any form. So obviously they're really setting up. Matt went into a Warhammer shop one time with the missus to see what it was all about, and the shopkeeper who was into the game dragged us into a small tutorial game, and I was so clueless what was happening, but the figure and battlefield. Yeah, it's it is a fascinating doodah hobby because there's so many elements to it, and it's one of those hobbies get so visually appealing as well. You know, and also for me, it's because it's very tactile. You know, there's actually a physical presence. There's actually, you know, you actually have models. You know what I mean? You actually have physical things that you can move and represent, like your battles. You can move them. You know, you build them, you paint them, you make them your own. Do you know what I mean? And then you can, you know. So they always look very impressive. You know, when they're displayed and used in battles. So that's really cool. They've got some artwork there for the peasant levy there. Showing you like the bows, arrows. That's really cool. Banner poles. So there's some updates and stuff in the book as well for like rules. Like basically, again, it's DLC. It's basically, you know, like a physical version of like, you know, patch updates and stuff to units and things like that. Just help with balance issues or whatever. So that's really, really cool. So that is the actual book itself, which I look forward to going through at some point. And then the pièce de résistance. Oh, move that guy out of the way. And I might just need to adjust the camera a little touch here. Let's have a look. I'll I've got this bit tightened up, a bit tight. Oh God, that ain't going anywhere. Jesus Christ. This is my strong hand. 1 second. Oh God. Oh, there we go. Thank God for that. There we go. Da-da-da-da. Da-da. Da-da-da-da. Right, so yes, here we go. This is the box of goodies. We still can't really see it that well, can we? That will do. So here we go. This is the big box of goodies. This is the Grand Cathay Defenders of the Great Bastion Army Reinforcement Sets. Now, yes, this is what I got, broski. So I got the book and I got this lovely box of models. This is what came yesterday. So what do we have in here? Okay, so we got 30 peasant levy. So they've built them here in a unit of 20 and a unit of 10. Iron Hail Gunners, these guys at the bottom here. 2 units of 6 or 1 unit of 12, so that's pretty cool. Crane Gun Teams, 2 units of 4 or 1 unit of 8, so that's really cool as well. They look really nice. I'm more than likely, I'll probably build them as they are in the box, to be fair. So I'll probably do a unit of 10 and a unit of 20, probably. Yeah, that's cool. And then 2 Asher Lancers, 1 on foot, and then 1 on horse. And then the little this little guy here, this little familiar there as well. Now, my understanding of these reinforcement sets are they are limited time only. Because, well, I think so anyway, I'm assuming, because I was looking online the other day for the Marauder, Chaos Marauder reinforcement set. I have one of them, but I wanted to get a second one just so I had a second one, as you do. And they seem to be out of stock, but they have released the units now in actual individual boxes, so you can buy them in, So I'm assuming these are to sort of like just help you get like a good head start, and then will release them individually. Well, I'm assuming these will be a reoccurring thing as well, these reinforcement sets, which is a really good idea, because then you could buy one or 2 boxes of the battalion sets, and then you can and then you buy a reinforcement set, and then you're good to go. So there doesn't seem to be any transfers in this one this time round. That's fair enough, because these aren't really units that need transfers per se. Like the transfers were in the what do you call it, in the battalion set, but that was their like the elite troops, like these sort of thingy ones. These are like peasant levy and stuff. So again, a nice full colour instruction booklet here. Nice to see the full colour ones for the newer stuff. A lot of the other some of the older kits that Games Workshop re-released, obviously for Warhammer The old world just basically got a black and white. Assemble! Well, I don't think I'll be doing much assembly. I want to probably assemble tonight. Again, I'll get my head, because I like to get my head around them, like the models. I like to go through the instructions. I like to see what I can get, what poses the models are in, what versions there are. And I was right. You can build. It looks like there's 2 versions of each. Yeah. So there's two builds. So you got 2 build possibilities with the Astromancers. Okay. So here, so the body in that's all the same, but it's the weapons that are different. So it looks like you can either build it with staff or with a sword, which is quite cool. So again, it's worth picking up, say like more than one, obviously, of the model, because then you can build the variation version, which is good. But yeah, that's really cool. We've got the horse here, mounted Astromancer. So that looks really cool. Really, really cool. Okay, so no, so the one on the horse, one on horseback, I think only has one build version, and then the one on foot has 2 different build versions. And then you got the crane gunners. That's all. They're basically built one way. Peasant levy. This is really cool. I can't wait. This will be a stream in itself. 100%. So let's look at the sprues then. So let's see what goodies we got on the sprues. So this is the Astromancer. So there's the horse there. Again, you know, obviously, the horse itself is obviously a similar style. Obviously, there's obviously callbacks to the Warhorse, obviously, but obviously slightly different. So, not as armored up. There's some scale mail, obviously, on the neck piece here, similar to on this bit here. Okay, so that's a reoccurring theme, but obviously the horse itself is lightly armored. It's a wizard's horse. It has, you know, it's more for speed than it is for actual, like these guys obviously need these horses have obviously got heavy armor barding, so they'll move slower. But they can deal more damage, take more damage. You know what I mean? That kind of cool thing. So I like that. I like the fact it's not just a copy, repeat, or whatever. It actually has some slight difference there. So I can still paint the gold on this guy the same color, but then of course the horse will have much more detail and more area for obviously the skin. And then you've got like a tabard cloth here instead of armor, and then same here as well. So this piece of cloth here that runs along. So this is obviously armor on this horse, but on that one it's cloth. But I'll still paint the cloth in this in that jade green color. So that's quite cool. So I'm already in my head. Just looking at the models, I'm already sort of forming a picture in my head of what I'm sort of looking at. So this will probably be green. That might be green. The cloth here might be green. So that would carry on the, or I might do that green. I might do this, maybe like a red, like a dark red colour. Because that way then it will complement the green here. We'll see. We've got time to play around. We've got ideas. Again, I'll dig out a sketchbook for it all, and I'll do colour swatches, and I'll look through paints, and just get an idea really. So that's that guy. It actually looks like this sprue might actually have both the mounted and the yeah, I think it's got so this sprue here has all 3 models on there for the Astromancers. So the Astromancer on foot, on horseback, the horse, and then the familiar that goes with the Astromancer on foot. And then this is the Peasant Levy sprue here. So it's a really nice detailed bows, arrows, quivers on here. Nice armor plates here as well. This would be quite nice. So this is obviously the champion's, probably the champion's shoulder pad there. I think it looks like actually looks like the shoulders have armor on them. So I would still be able to. Some do, some don't. Okay. Well, anyway, that'll be like a really cool thing. I can sort of still carry on that armor, that style of armor, that color in the Peasant Levy. But as they are Peasant Levy, obviously, I'll need to think a bit more about the colors I'll use, just because obviously they would only have you know, access to certain dyes for their clothing and stuff like that. I say you look at a lot of history. Only like the rich people had access to things like purples and things like that, because the dyes were expensive, harder to get hold of, like the pigments and things like that. And then this is the gunners. They've got the shields there. It's pretty cool. The big the guns there. Just what should we call it? So you have basically one guy in front, knelt down behind the shield, and then a guy behind them with the long rifle mounted on top of the shield, and they basically just like they're firing from cover basically. Peasant Levy, Peasant Levy, Peasant Levy. Peasant Levy. So that's cool. That's really, really cool. Definitely looking forward to. So that's that really. That's so yeah. I'm really excited for that. Matt, sorry I can't say much more. Knackered. Oh, thanks, mate. Thank you very much, mate. It's just a chill stream tonight, mate. A Sunday chill stream. Yeah. So I just got a call. Really, just wanted to make sure I streamed and touch base, talk to the community there. So you take care, Matt. Okay, so let's actually do some. Let's do some painting. It's a painting stream after all. Let's do some painting. So let's carry on with our Jade Lancers here. I'm gonna just obviously bring the camera back down again now. Okay, there we go. Should be okay. Hopefully. Yeah, there we go. So how's everyone? Broski, you okay, you okay, my broski? Green Eye. I hope you're both okay. Thank you for being here, sticking around, listening to me talk shit. But yeah, so all in all, very excited about that. Buy those models. 100% gonna be a great little project there. Yeah, it's just, I think it's just really cool because it's again, they are actually, you know, the actual new models for the game system. Do you know what I mean? Like, say Warhammer. And this was a game that basically was killed off by Games Workshop or whatever that was. When it was devastating for a lot of the fans and stuff. Obviously, it was killed off to make way for Age of Sigmar. Essentially, what I call is essentially the a game that they was able to basically IP from the ground up. So I'm gonna grab some colours here, guys. So I'm just gonna grab the where's my jade green? Put some jade green on the palette there. I do need to buy some more of this jade green at some point. So what I've got on the palette there. Where's my coal black? Coal black. Probably got some, but I think that's probably just dried out a little bit. So again, that's my deep dark black green. Oh, green black rather. That's my actual mid-tone. And then I've got this Elrich, which is like a really good, which will be a really good colour to highlight the jade green with. And then I have verdigris. And this is very, very like, again, this is for like extreme highlights. So that's our progression here of progression of colour, really. And what I'm going to focus on tonight is let's paint. So I've got to mix a little bit of that coal black in with the jade green there. I just want to knock it back just a touch, just so the transition isn't as stark. Okay. So let's paint this sucker up. So what we're gonna do? Let me just make sure these lights are in the right place for a start. That would help. Okay, there we go. I'll bring that down over there. Okay, there we go. Right, so what I want to do is, so this whole thing is getting this green green highlight, okay? I want the highlight to be in the round the edges, and then also in the center. And the coal black, I'm leaving on the inside rim. And what I mean by that, one second, I'll show you. There's a little bit of gold there that I didn't quite paint over with the coal black. That's okay. We'll just go over that with the mid-tone. It's not an issue at all. Not an issue at all. Okay. This is great. This is what I do. Nice and simple. Nice and easy. Okay, so then I'm going to bring in that colour in the centre as well. Okay. The reason being, is I want that darker, that cold black, which I use for my base coat, is going to basically act as a shadow colour. So I need to make sure so you see some of this gold here is chipped through. It's just because I'm just going to add a bit more cold black on my brush, and I'll just go over that quickly. There we go. It's gone now. Look at this. I did a big broad base coat with the cold black. Sorry, I'll start again. The gold armor, I basically just used a I think it's a size 4 filbert brush, like a flat brush, and I just went over two or three thin coats of gold over the armor, whole horse, but on the armor specifically, not worrying about any overspill on, say, the skin of the horse or any areas that aren't meant to be gold, because I can just tidy up afterwards. It's so much easier to tidy up, bigger areas than it is to try and clean up smaller areas, if that makes sense. And what I mean by that is, so let's say, for instance, I painted all this gold, okay? Sorry, I'll start again. Let's say I painted all this green, okay? I did the dark green, then I did all my highlights, okay? I did all my highlights, and I got it all perfect, and then now I need to go in, I've got to edge, highlight, base coat and highlight all the gold edging afterwards. It's just, that's not going to be nigh impossible, okay? So save yourself the ball ache, and do all your gold first, including your washes, your highlights, your shades. Get all that done, and then once all that's done and dried and everything, then you can go in between. You can go in between with your green colour or whatever colour you want to use. So what I'm doing here, obviously, is I'm using, again, I said before, I'm using that cold black as a shadow colour, as a base colour, but as a shadow colour. Because then what I will do after, when all is said and done, I can go in with a mixture of cold black, and I'll put a little bit of I could either use a little bit of just ordinary black as well, or what I might do is use some either Nuln Oil or some Black Templar, which is basically like a black wash, basically, and just do a little bit of recess shading to help redefine those the darker area, like the that deep dark green black, basically, just to help the green stand out more, like the brighter green stand out a bit more. And then after that, anyway, the whole thing will get a wash of a turquoise um, a green wash, a turquoise wash. Big Devi! Hey pal, nice to have you with us, bud. I hope you're good, my friend. But yeah, so basically we're just going to go in between. I'll switch to... Oh, thanks, mate. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, bud. Early days yet, but we're getting there. So, yeah, this jade green, okay? We'd basically use this. Make sure we're using the jade green on any of these areas. So, just, again, get a very... fine point on your brush there, and this really transforms the color. So it's becoming to, and because I'm highlighting, my focus is on the middle of these armor plates. If you have concerns, if you're worried about any overspill or going over anywhere you shouldn't, just switch to a smaller brush. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I tend to... this is a size 2. But what you'll find is the... Oh, green light. Okay, good night. Get a good night's sleep. Yeah, sorry, I was saying I'm comfortable using a size 2 because as long as the point is the brush has a good point on it, because on a lot of really good brushes, and this is an amazing brush, but it's a good brush for what it does. Your tip, the brush tip, is always comes to the same point, regardless of what size the brush is. It's just how much paint the brush will hold. It's basically the difference. Also, again, like if I go in with a so for instance, that's a size 0. Okay, so the tip on the size 0. I have a size 000 as well. But if I really need to get into some really fine detail areas, then I'll I will switch to a 000 or something like that if I need to really make sure I'm accurate with the application of paint. I don't want to make sure have I got a 000 at hand? Here you go, 000. Although I think this one's knackered. Yeah, unfortunately, if you look at this one though, the tip has gone on this one, unfortunately. But this is a 000. It should be a 30 000. So yeah, but unfortunately, I need to get a new one because this one's gone the way of the. Oh, is this one here as well? Oh, I've got a second one. Is this one all right? These ones seem to stay. They're starting to fray a little bit, but that one's a bit better. That's a little bit better. But yeah, so that's basically the general gist of that, really. So yeah, just have again, if your confidence is a little bit a bit shaky, you don't just switch to a slightly smaller brush. But if I show you quick, if I show you, I like this tune. This is a great tune. On here, look. Okay, so I'll show you what I'm loading the brush up. So you'll see that I'm dipping the brush, just the tip of the brush into the paint. Okay, I'm not now. If I was doing a much larger area on a model, I'd probably use something like this anyway. I'd use a brush like this. It's the size 2. This is a filbert. Okay, so I'm putting down large areas of base coat down. So when I did this green initially on here, I probably used I've got a slightly smaller one that I used to lay down the the big areas of green, and then I go in with a bit more precision with the finer detail brush there. So I'm going to just focus on this armor plate here tonight, guys, if that's okay. We'll get this nicely painted up. How about that? What do you reckon? If anyone's out there just joining us, welcome to BigDsBrush. Yeah, just chill out. Grab a drink, grab a seat. And I hope whatever you're doing out there, you're having a nice Sunday evening. Chilling, relaxing. In the UK, it was Mother's Day for us over here in the UK. And I think me and my brother can safely say that I think our mum had a really nice day. So that's mission accomplished for another year. And now we can just relax now and just chill. I hope anyone out there I'll start again. I hope that anyone else okay, broski. I hope that anyone else out there in the UK, Mother's Day, I hope you're you had a good day with your mum too, or maybe you're a family man or a family woman. You've got little ones of your own, and I hope you spent a lovely time with your other half and the little ones or whatever, and that kind of thing. So I hope all that was I hope it's been a good day for everyone. So now I'm now going to switch to the pure jade green now, okay? Because this little bit of area here had the coal black mixed in with it just to knock it down a bit. So now we're going to actually go in with actual pure jade green just to help with the to increase that contrast now. With this colour, we're still putting down like a sort of solid base coat, but again, make sure to just to thin it out with a little bit of water, guys. Don't go in with pure paint, neat paint, whatever. Always thin your paints. Okay, we're building up layers. We're using glazes. That's essentially what we're doing. Every time we're really using glazes, okay? If you look at this palette here, this paint here is quite translucent, okay? It's quite thin. And that's what allows us to build up those smooth transitions, okay? But what we will do afterwards, okay, what we're going to do afterwards is then we will start to add in this Eldritch. Now with that, we're going to sort of do a sort of slightly uneven, no, not uneven, but a bit more patchy application. We're going to bounce the brush a little bit, like we're going to sort of stipple the brush. And what I'm aiming for with that is I'm going to try and go for a slightly iridescent look to the armor. I almost want it to be like I don't know, like a sort of slightly iridescent. I could listen to this track all day. It's a track by Tonebox. It's called Shock. It is an amazing tune. Okay. I'm also gritting the edges as well. I had played around with the idea of that this one here, one of the other variations I did on the horses here, I had played around. You start to see what the highlight there, that still not quite finished yet, but it's how it will kind of start to look like. What am I trying to say to you guys? Yeah, sorry. I had played around with the idea of having the gold trim on this guy, but I just thought I'm going to make it solid. A solid. Oh, thank you, broski. But you'll see there's a difference now between the two, just in terms of, so by making that a solid piece, but once the a solid colour, sorry, but once all the edging is done, the edge highlighting is done, it'll all tie in really nice. And then on this guy, of course, mentioned before, then you have a solid gold one. That's where I'm going to obviously add highlights and shadows and shades to that armor plate to really make it stand out more. So there you have 3 different versions of armor plate just by literally changing the like the order of color or the pattern or whatever it is you did. So it's really, really cool. Itchy nose, guys. So yeah, so I was gonna just add a bit of touch of more water to the I like to sort of just if I get some water on my brush there, I kind of put it on the palette just to the side there. So that's the and I was going to just then put my brush back into the paint again. And then if I need to, I can just draw from this bit of water here that I put on the palette and not have to go back to my water cup again. Just to save a little bit of... because all I'm doing is I'm making a minor adjustment in terms of the translucency of the colour there, of the green. So I'm just going to do 2 or 3 layers of this. Building up that that green. And like I say, I'll reinforce the the shade again later, afterwards. It's why I've got a bit of this colour left. Obviously, I've got on my brush. I'm just gonna just apply it to this top piece here. So you'll see what I'm doing as well is I'm purposely leaving the coal black in the very edges to add as a shadow, which gives it real nice depth. That sort of already starts to make the armor look slightly iridescent. Also, the actual gold metallic paint that I base coated the entire model in is actually still underneath that green as well. So potentially the metallic flakes slightly show through. Just to add to that little, because when I did the when I base coated these armor plates with the coal black, I did it with very thin layers of application of paint, basically. So yeah, I do need to go back over this armor plate here and just add in some more coal black again, a little bit on the edges, and just to help bring that back. So I'm focusing my jade green in the center of these armor plates. Make sure you keep your layers thin, your applications thin. Do it in layers, because what happens is, and how obviously this works, is the existing color shows through underneath. This is what allows you to get a nice transition between the two colors without having to really do any kind of actual blending. We're sort of just what we're doing here is basically optical blending, because I'm not using a second brush to blend the two colors together. I'm not using wet on wet technique, which is basically where you have you put down one color, and then you load your brush up with the highlight color, and you basically go back and forth between the two colors to blend them, the transition in the middle. This brush is starting to get a little bit fucking... I do like these brushes, but they tend to thing after a while. I may have to actually invest maybe again in some Winsor and Newton brushes. I only need like 2 or 3 of them anyway, and then they'll last me forever, because I won't use them for any kind of heavy duty tasks. I won't use them for like base coats and shit like that. I'll use my synthetic brushes to do the base coats, like the real heavy work, and I'll use the Winsor and Newtons to do all my layering and highlighting and pinpoint. So I would go with natural hair brushes are better, but more expensive. Synthetic brushes, you can get really good quality synthetic brushes, and they're a bit more of an affordable price. And if you can use them to, like, they can take a little bit more punishment. Natural brushes, Sable, like red sable, Kalinsky sable, because they tend to be made from it's usually squirrel hair for natural brush. I do have a Winsor & Newton somewhere. I've got a couple left. It's just like they've seen better days. But they're squirrel hair. I think. I'm pretty sure. Red Sable's thing. Maybe. I'm pretty sure. And yeah, they're really good. And they hold their point so much better. But I say with a synthetic brush, you can give them a pounding. And you don't have to worry too much. So these are like... I mean, this brush cost me like... so for instance, this here, size 2, system free, Dowler & Rowney, synthetic brush, I think was about £6. If I was to get a size 2 Winsor & Newton Kalinsky Sable brush now, if you want to load up, size 2 Kalinsky Sable Windsor. So for a size 2, that's off Amazon. That's not too bad actually. That's a pretty good deal actually, to be fair. But if I went on Ken Bromley, we're looking at about £30. £30 for a size 2 Kalinsky Sable. There we go, Ken Bromley. But then watercolour brushes as well, except all size 2. That's not too bad. So yeah, so 26. So again, you're looking at like £26, £27 for a Kalinsky Sable, for a size 2 Kalinsky, which in my opinion is good. That's for what the type of brush it is, that's not too bad. But here's the thing, like, who has, unless you're a really, you know, you have that kind of money spare, you would rather probably buy 4 brushes for the same price. Do you see what I mean? So it depends what you're after. But again, if you look after your brushes, you know, you look after again, it's like anything, isn't it? It's like look after your tools. You know, a handyman, a carpenter, or whatever, they always look after their tools. They keep them pristine. You know, look after your tools, they look after you. It's the same thing. Where's my... so I've got some Winsor & Newton ones here still. Like I said, these have seen better days. So there's a 00 Winsor & Newton 00 brush. That still has a really nice point on it. I have a size 2 here, actually, I think. Yeah, size 2. But this one's unfortunately lost its point. But here's a size 2 synthetic. Here's a size 2 Winsor & Newton, okay? But this one's obviously, I've had this one years. It's seen better days, but I use it for so I would use that for like base coats and stuff, you see. I bought some cheap budget brushes the other day from made by Vallejo. They're alright, they're pretty good. Again, they're just budget brushes. Cheap brushes. Size 0. But yeah, I think I'd always say, I recommend if you had to buy two natural hair premium brushes, I'd say probably buy a 2 and a 0 maybe. And I think you'd probably get on fine with a 2 and a 0. But if you're buying synthetic, then buy, you know, I'd say buy a 2, buy a 2, buy a 1, buy a 00, and no, sorry, a 0, a 1, a 2, and then a 000. So these synthetic brushes, these system free Dowler & Rowney, I get it from the local art shop, and they're a good price. But I bet you if you were on Amazon, and I typed in System 3, brushes. Okay, here you go. Dowler and Rowney System 3 synthetic hair, short handle classic style brush set off Amazon. I mean, that's a generic set, but you get several brushes in there. £10. £10 to you. But again, they're slightly, probably, these are more, probably, I would say the brush sizes here are not... Oh, 1 second. What we got? A 0, a 4, and then you've got a size 6 filbert, and then you've got a larger brush, which might be good for like things like tanks and things like that. Scenery. What's this one? So I'd probably buy them individually. Has the stream frozen? How are we? Broski, how are we? Is it frozen up? Oh no! Okay, so I'm not doing. Oh no! I'm not doing anything, Devi. I was looking at prices for That's okay, Broski. It's a thing, you know. He thought it froze because the palette wasn't moving. Yeah, so I was just looking at for anyone that's interested. So yeah, broski. So looking at these. So for a pack of... Here we go. Okay, you can buy sets, but they're all sort of various ones. But regardless, I'm sure you'll find this. Well, I know it's not you personally, broski, but obviously people listening out there on the stream. Yeah, you can buy basically a pack of 5 brushes that you'll do. You know, you'll be able to paint models with. Tenner broski, and again, you can buy a couple of packs of them. So for the price of one size 2 Winsor Newton brush, you can probably buy 2 or 3 packs of synthetic brushes, and they will serve you just as well. Just look after them and just, you know, especially for what we're doing. Yeah, miniature painting, you don't have to go too crazy. And if you're on a budget, you know, you're on a budget. Not everyone has a million, billion, bajillion pounds to... I mean, you spend enough money as it is on the models themselves and getting some paints or whatever. The brushes, you know. But I do recommend at least buy a somewhat of a good brand, you know. Get so Dowler and Rowney. There's a couple of really good brands out there. Just, yeah, a budget brand. Or even a premium company will have their budget range as well. Big Devi, yeah. So thank you though, broski. Thank you for Big Devi there with the false alarm. I'm so bad with colours. Do you mean what? Just colours in general, or how do you mean, Devi? Just yeah, talk to us, boy. Talk to us, buddy. What do you mean? This is going to be the last application of pure jade green. And after this, we're going to be going into... we'll be going into highlight territory. I'm just going to grab this pure jade green. I'm just gonna just make sure I get the just in general mixing, applying. Honestly, Big Devi, it's all color theory, basic color theory. Just again, it depends how interested you are, and just in general, if it's for your for projects, for art, whatever. Honestly, just buy a color theory book. Even if it's a color theory book that has absolutely zero to do with well, jade green does have blue in it. You tend to. That's why I started with. So for this, I started with a base coat of. I'll show you my progression, Big Devi, just while I rinse my brush out quickly, and I'm gonna take a sip of this nice IPA that's just been sat here neglected by me. So here's the. So you can see there, Big Devi. So my progression of color, I started off with this this deep dark. This is a turquoise. This is a black turquoise, essentially. Yeah, I love IPAs too, but I'm going to crack open another IPA in a second. Yeah, so this is a turquoise. It's a... no, so then... No, and then to this... So I'll show you the actual paints I've used, Devi. 4 different paints here I've got. Okay, and this is the spectrum. So 1 second. I'm going for, but you'll see that these greens, so the greens have blue in them. They're on the blue side. So this is my deep dark, this is my black turquoise basically. And then into that, well, this is my base color, but I put this down first. Then I put a bit of this on my palette and I add a little bit of this into this color, just to knock it down a little bit, and then I give that a couple of coats. And then after that, then I go in with just pure jade green. A little bit of water, thin layers, 2 or 3 thin layers to help bring up the that colour. And then in a second, Big Devi, I'm gonna add this colour here. This is Eldritch, which doesn't mean anything. This is like sometimes the names don't really mean anything in miniature paints because they tend to their naming conventions are usually nothing to do with the pigments of the color. It's more so to do with fluff and lore within the game that so these paints were for War Machine. Just whoever got that exact coding of color makes the name. Okay, yeah. Basically, so this is P3. So this was for War Machine. War Machine and Hordes. So this company they basically named their paints after characters, locations, that kind of thing within the universe. Yeah. And then you have obviously Games Workshop ones. So they name their stuff after stuff in Warhammer 40k, Warhammer Fantasy, Warhammer Age 6. So it's all kind of... However, you do get some, obviously, paint companies who just do straight up colours. So Hull Red. This is Hull Red, okay? And as I said before as a joke at the start, this is... If you live in the UK, this is nothing to do with the city of Hull. A location. This basically refers to the kind of red primer they would use on the hull of ships and boats and things like that, like the big ocean, the steel, the metal, whatever it is that would be primed in basically like a red oxide color. So this has actually got a normal naming convention, as opposed to say. This brown here, which is called Doomball Brown. But again, all you're looking at really is the pigments, the colour, the hue. So this is a reddish brown. So this is a brown in the reddish spectrum. So, but however, these paints. So these are so these paints here are now the reformulated versions of these paints. I have some of these older ones. These are new. And what I like about these, okay, they still keep the naming conventions. they keep the same naming conventions, but so cold black. But however, they also give you the actual name of the color. This is it. It's this deep, dark, green, black. Okay, so this is. I like these a lot for that. It basically tells you what the so you get made up silly name, and then what the actual color is. So that's really good. I do like that. But at the same time, I always recommend that when people are deciding what colors to use, you actually look at the end cap or the end of the bottle or whatever it is that you're using, and that's how you. So this is a. Unfortunately, Devi, it's all you have to tell people this stuff now, or they will do. They put warnings, do not put your head in microwaves and things like that. It's just, unfortunately, my friend, it's not even that. It's not so much the fact that there's silly people out there. It's also because there's people out there who want to, that's very true. Someone's done it, or you got people obviously who are out for a quick buck. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't know if you heard about that stupid woman who put Gorilla Glue in her hair. She used Gorilla Glue in her hair, and she tried to sue Gorilla, the company, for it. I don't think she won. I'm sure she didn't, because it's like, but she's basically saying, well, the label didn't tell me not to put it in my hair, but it's like it's glue. Do you know what I mean? It's weird. It's just like, I'm pretty sure they didn't get any kind of settlement or anything. They just got called stupid. Do you know what I mean? But they're after free money. That's all it is. After free money. Yeah, that's so crazy, that whole Red Bull thing. That's mental. Just going to grab a sip of Monster as well while I'm at it. There we go. It's crazy, yeah. I can't believe, but I'm sure there's a full list somewhere, Big Devi, of the things people have sued for and won. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. I remember all these in the UK. Broski, if you're still there, do you remember like that big, like huge, like surge of claim adverts on TV? Do you remember all these, like, if you had an accident in the last 5 years, you could be entitled to compensation. We're going to, like, dig up 5 years of fucking bullshit. And, yeah, it was just crazy because it was the, and basically all it was the companies, these, it was just these companies, because they get money on the back end, don't they? So they'll sue. Do you know the one I remember? I always remember the advert for this. This really pissed me off. And I remember the advert for this. And I was like, okay, so there was a claims advert, accident claim advert, right? And the advert went like this. So there was a guy who obviously got his car stuck in a muddy lane or whatever. The nearby farmer, like, kindly offered to obviously, like, help. This is obviously an advert, but still, I'm just giving it a little bit of a story, a bit of embellishment. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to, but So the farmer offers to tow the guy out of the mud, like so he can be on his way or whatever, you know. And the guy who was being towed somehow like hurt himself during the process and sued the farmer in this advert. I know it's an advert, but still, it's like, so basically it's like, you know, if someone tries to help you, blah 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 blah, and you hurt yourself, then, you know, it's just crazy. I'm like, what? If I was that farmer, I'd be like, fuck off. I would. I'd be like, I'd fucking what do you call it? I'd drive his tractor straight into his fucking car. I'd be like, fuck you. Like, try to help you and you fucking tried to suit me. It's your own fault. You fucking hurt your own hand. Yeah, so that's the thing, the big day. People are like, no. And I can see why now, you know? I can see why. People just don't want to be involved anymore now. You're trying to... But it's the same with... which I was always a bit weary about how far people would take this stuff now, because it's like first aiders. If you're a first aider, if you go to help someone, like recovery position or whatever, like can they be like weird and like try to make out that like while you was performing your duty as a first aider that you somehow made it worse or whatever? Do you know what I mean? Like by following legal procedure, and they'll, you know, end up taking you to court or whatever, trying to sue you just for like. That's why I'm not being horrible. Even I'm like, no, step back. Sorry, like, you know, ring. Of course, ring the ambulance or whatever. You know, ring for help, ring ambulance. But I won't go anywhere near them because I'm like, no, you're gonna try and. Of course, you hear all these. I'm just gonna add some of this Elrich into the Jade Green now. That's what I'm gonna just. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, DNR and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's crazy. You violated this person, my client's right to die, or whatever. Yeah, it's just so complicated now. So complicated. But I can see, this is why I can see, this is why I actually understand why, I think you have people now who are less inclined to become, first aiders. Yes, broski, do you know, to be fair, I think I'm going to go till 11 o'clock anyway. So, this was just like, this was like a, just a stream to, you know, touch grass. So, we're going to go till, so broski, you have a good night's sleep, and I'll see you in the morning, my broski, yeah, we'll have another 12 minutes, and then we'll probably call it, and then I plan to absolutely 110% stream again during the week, Monday, basically Monday, I think, maybe Tuesday. Well, I go back to work Friday, so I might do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I think, this week. And then Thursday I can get an early night and have my head down ready for work on Friday. So good night, my broski. Thank you for being here. I know you had a stream, you know, you had a fairly long stream yourself today, and it was great to see you streaming as well, bro. And I'll be, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace! Just me and you now, Big Devi, till the closing. Yes, mate. So the game is called. Oh, 1 second. This is dude. I'll show you that. This is the game is called Warhammer: The Old World, which is the relaunch, the rebranding of Warhammer Fantasy, which was actually discontinued a few years ago now, and in their in Games Workshop's Infinite Wisdom, They cancelled it, and then fortunately, the popularity of Total Warhammer basically was probably part of the reason for it coming back. And so yeah, so these are the models for that, my friend. I'm just I'm painting up some. These are models for the Grand Army of Cathay, and these are the Jade Lancers, and these are the Warhorses that I'm currently painting. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going a bit more water them up, because what I want to do is I want to do some okay. So let's just do this. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to very carefully, I'm going to just tap. I'm going to basically like slightly stipple this next highlight colour. Because what I'm going for, Big Dev, is I'm going for a sort of, because obviously the name of, obviously I want these are, I went for obviously like a jade colour because these are called Jade Lancers. But in my head, I see this as being like the armour itself, the green armour anyway, being like slightly iridescent. So it has like a little, like a little sparkle to it, a little sheen. So what I'm doing is I've put the base coat down, and now I'm stippling the highlight colours on. So each highlight colour is going to be stippled over the top. So you're going to see, you'll see the pre-existing colours underneath. And as I stipple more layers on, because I'm stippling in a random pattern, you'll see the different colours come through. Hey, Stefu! Oh, we're not going anywhere just yet now, are we? Now Stefu's in the house. Brother, how are you? How's the new Da Vinci going? I won't go that far, Stefu, but Da Vinci, if he was what you would call it. But oh, so glad you're here, brother. Big Devi, my mom, your mum used to be an interior designer, and she would use a clear base layer paint that cracked, and you put another layer. That's a really cool effect. You can actually get we tend to use that more so for basing and stuff. We get oh, you finally got everything all hunky dory, ready to rock and roll. I'm so glad to hear that, Steph. I can imagine it being yeah, Big Debbie's in the house. But I'm glad you got everything thingy there, Steffi, bless you. Well, we're going to go a bit longer now, aren't we? Of course we're going to go a bit longer now. You just missed Bit Dot there, Steffu. He just called it a night, bless him. We had a really good stream earlier on, so yeah. Let me just crack open another beer, guys. We'll crack open another beer. We'll have a bit of a, we'll have an extended. It is after dark, after all. After dark with BigDsBrush. I like coming up with these like silly names for my streams. They're just funny. Like happy hour, and I was gonna call this stream Last Orders. Well, how far's your store there, lad? I'll be here, mate. I'm not gonna go anywhere just yet. So if you want to go grab a beer, go grab a beer, mate. I'll be here. I'm gonna go crack open another IPA in a second. actually thingy. We'll keep going. I'm not tired. I was just gonna. I thought it'd be a perfect time to call it, but to be fair, strike while the iron is hot. Keep the momentum going. Go grab a beer, mate. We'll be here. Me and Steffi will keep the. This party going. Oh well, yeah. Don't worry, Steffi, mate. I'll understand your thing, mate. It's good to have you with me, though, mate. It's nice to have you pop in. You get things sorted, pal. Get yourself all thingy, bloody hell. It's gonna be it's been a what you call it for you, bless you. But I'm still gonna be here, Big Devi. So go grab yourself a beer, mate. Yes, you will catch me soon. 100%, Steffi, man. You be good. You be good. You be well. You keep safe. And I hope to see you in one of my streams again soon. I got given a load of BrewDog. This is the Christmas beer. This is the rain beer one. This is great. I tried this last time. It's actually really quite good. I think we do have some American beers, Big Devi. I'm not sure. I'm trying to get hold of. I want to try and get hold of some Voodoo Ranger beers, and it looked like at one point they actually sold them in the UK, like Voodoo Ranger. But for whatever reason now, at the minute, it seems to be like hard to get hold of them for whatever reason. I'm not too sure if it's a customs thing or what. I don't know. Over. Yeah, it looks good. I've seen obviously like Burnt Peanut obviously like drinks it, but I have seen obviously other streamers and stuff in the past. Obviously, I've seen them. It's weird. I think at one point it was available from certain places in the UK, like online places that would like send you selections of like IPAs and ales and things like that. They send you like a hamper like every month or whatever. They used to have it, but now it's all. So I'm not sure if it's a customs thing or not. I don't know, or whatever. Some random thing. But I would have loved to have tried all the different versions of Voodoo Ranger. 100%. We do have some really good ales and IPAs and stuff like that. There's a really cool little place in town, Big Devi, and it's basically it's a really cool. It's a really small pub. I think it's like one of the smallest pubs in the UK. It must be up there. It's basically the size of a broom cupboard, but all they do there, mate, is a lot of it's like locally brewed ales, craft beers, stuff like that. There's no, like, you won't go in there and, there's no commercial, lagers or whatever in there. It's all home, you know, it's all not home brewed, but locally brewed or whatever. So I quite like that. I like that a lot. So I'm not sure if you. I mean, I'm sure there's what you call it, Big Debbie. So I'm sure that you'll be able to. There'll be some places I'm sure that will probably carry some. I mean, Brewdog is definitely it was one of the biggest in the well, it still is, but it's obviously going through a transitional period at the minute because obviously yeah. I mean, they've been brought out. Luckily, I think it was actually an American company that's brought them out, but hopefully they don't mess around with the recipes or whatever. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. There's only two, but we'll see. Hopefully they've taken it on because they actually they actually like they like the beer itself or whatever, so they want to maintain it. You say that every day. What the if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, it's a good saying. It's a good saying, my friend. It really is. Right, so I'm going to switch bushes now. I feel I need... I'll go for a 000 brush. Unfortunately, Big Debbie, my friend. Yeah, no worries, I'll be here. We'll go till... I'm going to probably go till midnight over in the UK, mate, so you got plenty of time. I've just poured myself a nice rain beer. Just going to stipple on. This brush is slightly frayed, so it's not got quite the pinpoint tip on it that it once had, but it kind of works in our advantage because it's helping with the stippling effect. So yeah, I remember my local, well, in the UK. Oh, sorry, Big Daddy. You got Big Daddy on it. I was gonna carry on talking. In the UK, we say shop, we say shops. We don't say. Well, we do sort of say store, but we tend to say shop really. Off to the shops. They were teasing about. I go in there. I basically load up. Oh, excuse me. I load up on Brewdog beers, so they have a good deal on the Brewdog beers at the minute. And they're like, "Oh, your best thingy now where you can." I'm like, "Don't say that. Don't you dare say that. That's horrible. That's teasing." Hey up, Dev! Welcome back, pal. Welcome back, mate. So yeah, here we go. Gently. Gently, 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 gently. There we go. Gently, 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 gently. And yes, I do talk out loud there, Devi. Even when I'm if I'm sat on my own at home or whatever, and I'm painting away, I say these same things out loud. Oh, what? When I'm doing the stippling? It's just basically what I'm doing is I'm just, what do you call it? I'm trying to, like, I'm just basically, I'm just doing a very random, application of paint. So I'm just stippling it on because I want a very thin, application. Well, this brush is kind of knackered anyway, but it's good. It's good in a way because it helps to make it a bit more random when I lay it down. But I thin the paint out quite a bit, and then I just wipe it off my onto my paper towel, and then load up again, because even though this is quite thin. Where are we? We're over here. This is quite thinned down, but there's still plenty of pigment on there. So when the water, no, bye bye. How the fuck do I? There's arm on my buddy. Think what it, you know, on the brain. Yeah, he's gone. Okay, it's fine. It's gone. Cool. Sorry, Big Demo back now. I just had to just block that guy, ban that guy, that fucking thing. Yeah, so basically, it's just a way of me just to be able to blend the colours in a way, because I'm going for a slightly I'm after a speckled effect. Tell you what I'm gonna do tomorrow when I go into town. I'm definitely gonna buy a new 000 brush. Now, I'll show you in a second, Devi. I'll show you, because this is not my usual way at all of blending. Oh, blending. It's just it's because I'm after a certain effect on the armor. I want this sort of slightly a slight iridescence to it. I think maybe just a tiny bit more. Just to get a nice little. Then what I'm going to do, what we'll do. Tongue tied there. I'll try again. What I'll do anyway, and the final stages, Big Devi, is I'm going to do an application of a glaze anyway over the top. So I'm going to I'll make a like a bluish green glaze to then apply over the top of this, just to help blend everything together, or just help to sort of unify the colours. So basically what I'm going to do now in a second, because that's pretty much. But then I need to do. So what I'll do, for instance, I'll get this brush again. I'll take. I'll make a mid-tone of jade green and eldritch. So again, that light, that slightly lighter green there, just into the two. It's not an exact science either. I'm not doing exact measurements or anything like that for like the amount. Just roughly 50-50 of jade green and eldritch. And what I'm going to do now is I want to paint over the raised. So I've been painting miniatures for since I was a kid, when I first got into Warhammer. But then that was like off and on. But I always kind of like kept my ear to the ground, as it were. I always never lost the interest. I in my late 20s. That's when I first started a YouTube channel. I think it was about 2011 or so. I think it was. Did I start doing that? No. Maybe a bit thingier than that. But anyway, so this YouTube channel that I'm using now. This was like my old one, and for a while there I was. Obviously working my full-time job and the painting, doing videos as well back in the early years of YouTube, and I enjoyed it very much, but I just had a set of circumstances that happened, and I just didn't have time to do it anymore, videos and stuff and blah blah blah. And then over the course of God, how many years now, I've just been at it. And then when Warhammer the Old World got announced, I basically said, well, I mean, it was announced, but it was like years in development before it got released. And I was basically said to myself that when it did come out, I was going to start painting properly again. Yes, that was like the idea behind the. I was either gonna do like a kind of speckled effect, or I was gonna do like a crackle effect. I went for the speckled instead. Just gotta make sure I just get these little bits here. Any areas that I Again, it's not an exact science. I will make a little mistake here and there. I'll most likely paint over something that I shouldn't, but that's fine. I can just go over that again later on. I need to go on here in here with fuck's sake. So once I get back to it, I'll move it out of the way for a second. Just gotta bring the model closer to myself a little bit. Okay, there we go. I'll be right back. I'm right here, Devi. Just had to pull the model a little bit closer to myself just so I could get this finer detailed area. Okay, there we go. So it's getting there. We're getting there. It's looking a bit better. So I'm gonna get some light on the situation a little bit. Just so that's looking a lot better. So now I'm going to grab some pure Eldritch. I'm just going to put it over here. Some water. Thin it out again just a little bit. And all I'm going to do now is just start to edge highlight a little bit now, just on these bits here. I do need to redefine some of the shaded areas. Okay, that's looking good. There we go. So for instance, I'll show you now. So for now, what's that? Okay, so there we go. Right, so that'll do for now in terms of that. I can go in with a much finer brush. Because what I need to do, I can show you roughly, essentially what I need to do. Again, I'm going to mix in Eldritch and then the verdigris. And what I'll do is on the corners, on the edges, where light will reflect a bit more, I'll use the this highlight color on those edges here and there, just to bring out a little bit of the just like that kind of thing. But before I can get carried away and do this, okay, we need to just go in and redefine some of that shade. Okay, so how am I going to do this? Right, so I'm going to need that cold black, which I already have on my palette, and then I'm going to need a straight black, wherever that is. Oh, what do I do with it? Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! That's here. Is it? Yeah. Okay. Got it. Okay, so there's a bit of... So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix these two together. Where is... Where's the double zero? Double zero brush. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the cold black, a bit of the normal black, mix the two together. So I've got a transitional colour now. Cold black again. Okay. Fill it down. Fit it down. Okay, here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this colour here. Okay. And then, because I have raised areas and then I have recessed areas, I want to redefine those shaded areas. So I'm going in with a slightly darker mix. To redefine those shadows. It's thin. The paint's quite thin. But that's good. That's what we need. We need just thin layers. Touch more black. Just like that, because I'm trying to create the depth again of the panels there. It's just slightly a bit too much normal black on there. It's a bit heavy with the black, so I'm going to go in there with the cold black just to tone that down a bit, bring it back up again. So yeah, so that's essentially what I'm trying to do, just to yeah, it's acrylic paint, Big Devi. So because it's a big acrylic paint, it does dry fairly quick. Now I do need to. One thing you'll notice, Big Devi, is there's a lot of back and forth with this as well. A lot of back and forth with the process. So I've got to redo this slightly, but it's very quick, very, very quick. So I can get the Eldritch, thin that down, stipple it, go from there, stipple it. So yeah, there's a lot of back and forth. The paint's quite. If you need to, when you do these as well, you can have a cheap hairdryer on standby. And just yeah, use a hairdryer, and it will help dry things up quicker. You're basically evaporating the water content within the in the paint, and so what you're leaving is pigment. Oh yeah. These are from my own personal collections, my own personal armies, buddy. It's very rare that I do any kind of actual what you got, resale or anything like that. I don't really tend to thingy too much. I did do back in the day. I used to sell. I mean, I sold models on eBay and stuff, and but I never did. I never done any kind of formal commission work, if that makes sense. I tend to I've got some stuff. Well, some stuff I've sold in the past. Some models I had that I painted up. Some of the Malifaux stuff that I painted up like all those years ago. That was some good stuff I did. They were good models, good sculpts. I've done a few. For 1 second, I'll just show you some. 1 second, David. I'm just gonna grab you a couple of bits that I've done recently on a couple of streams, like a few streams ago. This is going back some while now, but nothing overly special about them per se. But it's just what do you call it? A lot of it was just, again, I tend to like have ideas and ideas, and I kind of sketch in a way like with the models when I paint them. It's almost like it's like a sketchbook. It's very rare, which is one thing I need to sort of get into the habit of doing, is obviously actually, completing models. But it's like when someone who just sketches, it's kind of like you're doodling, you don't really finish a sketch. Oh! Excuse me, Big Davey, I'm probably going to call it, I'm saying we're going to go till 12. So, this was like one of the first models that I did for stream, Devi. Yeah, this is not even finished by any means. I started this before Christmas, but I'm quite happy with how this has turned out, despite not being actually finished yet. Thank you. So there's still some bits left to do on it. The sword still needs finishing off properly. Some highlights on the hand. The shield needs finishing off. This hand here needs doing. This skull needs finishing off. But yeah, it was coming along quite nicely. It was all done in. Thank you. It turned out better than what I thought it was going to do. It was fun to do for streams for sure. It was just getting me used to. Sorry, big yawn. It was getting me used to painting on stream again. So there was that guy, and yeah, I might call a day at half-past Big Devi, if that's okay. I'll show you this. This was a project for Christmas. It was suggested to me that I attempt to do like a snow globe using Warhammer miniatures, make a diorama, make a snow globe. This was about as far as I got with the project. So I brought a snow globe. This all needs redoing, but I brought a snow globe kit, and I built all this up using cork. I used a cork. This snow I made from acrylic wall filler. I just used acrylic wall filler. I mixed in some white paint with it as well. The guy with the axe, the head. I never finished the head. To be fair, I used speed painting techniques on this guy, but I wanted it to look like it was cold, so I used cold tones, and then just gave it like a wash with. I used enamel paints, Big Devi, for a quick and easy wash. So what you do is you paint your model with your normal acrylic paints. Obviously, let that dry. I let it dry overnight or whatever. I give it a varnish. Give it a good varnish as well. And then you go over with very thinned down enamel paints. So I mixed in some dark brown and a little bit of blue, so it knocked it down. So it knocked the brown down into like a colder brown. and I just thinned it out a lot, and went over the fur. Yeah. So, and then I made the tree. I made the tree out of wire, electrical wire. So I went to a cheap discount shop store that sold electrical cable. I you know, like I said before, you know, I wouldn't. It's not cable, in my opinion, that you would probably use for any kind of actual electrical house wiring or whatever by any means. But it was cheap, and I just stripped the coating, the sheath. I stripped it all back, got myself down to the bare wire, and just started twisting strands. Yeah. I just stripped the stuff down, made got a load of it together, made the bark, and then just started forming the branches. And then when that was all done, I then went over it with wall filler, but I mixed in some. So I did wall filler and PVA glue and a little bit of brown paint. Mixed all that together, coated the whole thing with it. But what I did was I added some water as well, so I thinned it down first, and then I built up the thickness over time. Put in the detail for the bark. I just basically ran like a screw over it when it was starting to set up. So like the threads on the screw, I went sort of up and down to give it that kind of like, you know, irregular look. And then just and then once that was dry, I gave it a couple of washes with enamel paint again, just to make it a bit more durable. Again, the snow on top is just wall filler with acrylic paint in it. And then, I just put some static grass tufts on there. I put a little bit of the snow effect on there as well. And that was it really, mate. Then I pinned the model in place. I just drilled a couple of holes in the feet, put a couple of paper clips in there, and then just push them right down into the cork. And then that's it really. So but it was a failed experiment. I tried to do the snow globe effect. It just you see here all the like the sparkles and that's the sequins and stuff that was from the doodah. So yeah, but that was I like, even though this didn't work. No, so this was I purposely sprinkled some on while it was still wet, because I wanted to try and I wanted the snow to have a iridescent shine to it. But basically the I just didn't I think because it just I didn't have the right mix of I think I tried to use, because I did it with water originally, so I just filled the doodah with a bit of water, pushed this in with the things, and the water just like leaked out. I think it just didn't have I think I need to use what is it they say? You can use like baby oil or some stuff instead to do it, because it's obviously like yeah. So that's all. So it was because I was just trying to get it done, and I just rushed it, and then yeah. But this is incidentally, this is one of the newer Chaos Marauder models, which is really, really cool. But so even though this didn't turn out, didn't work, I was still pleased with the the stuff I did for it. Which then from this, I've got asked by someone close to me if I could do them a diorama for them, and they picked the model, and I've just now I'm in the planning stages of that diorama. So I brought the I got a wooden pedestal thing made that was made to order. I've got that. That's now arrived, and I've given that a couple of coats of gloss font. There we go. Black. This is Humbrol. This is black gloss. So I gave it a coat of one coat of this first. Let that dry for 24 hours. I then gave it another coat of gloss. Let that dry for 24 hours. Now I'm waiting on some wet and dry paper, which I've ordered off Amazon. It's a pack that comes with like every grade, so you can basically work up to black 2.0. What is that? What's that? What's that, buddy? What's that? So yes, I'm waiting on some wet and dry paper just so I can. I want the gloss to to have a really to be like to have a really smooth sheen to it. Oh God, no, I've never heard of. It kind of rings a bell, but it's not something I'm overly familiar with. Right, Big Devi, I really do appreciate you being here, my friend. Thank you for sticking around. It was good to. It was nice to share a beer with you, mate. I'm gonna finish off my. I'm just gonna finish off my beer anyway. I've got a little bit of beer left, so I'll finish this off first. Never waste a beer. Excuse me. So yeah, so that's the sort of thing I've been. I'm hoping that by the end of I don't know, not by the end of the month, but at least soon I'll have this army fully done, and then that'll be like a really cool thing to show off. So that's the basic, the beginnings of the armor. Anyway, I've got some all the green armor will be done like that, and it should end up looking like. Oh, not that one. 1 second. Make this one here a little bit. Like that when it's done. So this is how this is at the top here. This is a slightly bigger area. But yeah, but once it's done. Oh, sorry. So that, by the time it's done, will look like that. Because I'll have gotten the darker the shading done, and then I give it all a glaze to tie all the colours in, so it should look quite nice. I hope it works anyway. Right then, mate. Thank you very much for effort again, Big Devi. You've been great. Thank you to Broski. I know you're in bed now, but thank you for being there. Green Eye, Stefu, thank you all for popping in, and Matt also. Thank you, Matt, for the follow. Thank you, Big Devi, as also for the follow, mate. I really appreciate that. It's been nice to have a couple of new followers, especially when it's people from my broskies community, who I welcome with open arms. So yeah, we've almost done a 3-hour session, so that's great. In fact, we'll have 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. There we go. That's it. So, Big Devi, I'm going to play the what I do now, buddies. I have a little bit of I have an outro song as well. So I'm just going to what I like to do is turn this music down, and then we switch to the closing screen. So yeah, thank you everyone, and we'll fire up the we'll fire up the closing stream. So I had I have an intro music which is mine. The music during the stream is just generic synthwave stuff, and then I've got my own. Again, it's obviously the tunes are what you call it, fella. They're AI Suno, but I came up with the lyrics for some of the stuff, and then just got the AI to make it for me. I just wanted to give my streams at least some level of quality. So thank you very much. We're gonna play the outro music, mate, and I'll go out see you next time. Hopefully I clicked the right one. Yeah. Oh, wrong one. That's the intro. No. Try again. This one. Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you very much, Devi. See you next time, mate. Take care. Bye bye.